Hello, this presentation is an introduction to organizational structures and its implications for communication by understanding what is meant by organizations, by being able to describe organizational structure, culture, behavior, context, and the environment. The organizational structures, levels within organizations, and their hierarchy have implications for communication. By the end of this session, you will be able to understand organizational structures, identify levels of organization, understand hierarchy and organizational structures, and their implications for communication. Organizational structure. What do we mean by organizational structure? What is the rationale behind the division of work and to facilitate coordination to achieve goals and objectives? It's why do we need organizational structure? Its rationale is the division of work, distribution of work, and to enable coordination between different parts of the workplace to achieve goals and objectives. It provides the framework for work, tasks, relationships, and communication. It is an essential feature of organizations, irrespective of size. If the organization is a small one, simple one, it is more personalized. It is more simpler. But if the organization is complex, we need to carefully design larger organizational structure and try to keep it simple. Levels of organizations. Before we move any further, we need to understand what are the levels of organization. Three broad hierarchical interrelated levels. Three broad hierarchical interrelated levels exist within organizations. These are technical, managerial, and the corporate. And of course, the reality is much more complex and ambiguous. And the distinctions between the technical, managerial, and the corporate are not so clear. Hierarchy. We go back to Weber's classical study of hierarchy of authority and his characterization of charismatic, traditional, and the rational legal organizations. 21st century has seen major changes in the nature of work. The boss-worker relationship has changed forever. There are flatter structures so that communication can flow more easily both ways. More dialogues can be enabled. Workers are much more enabled, empowered, aware of their rights and their responsibilities. Decision making has to be much more democratic. People want to be part of the decision making because if they have to be implementing the decisions, their commitment and their being on board is more important and crucial, and so it makes sense to involve them in decision making. Hierarchy clarifies the chain of command and communication, the channel. Is it really an outdated and an outmoded principle? Is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Significance of frontline managers. Why are they so significant? What is it that they do? How do they make a difference? Do we really need them? Can we do away with them? Frontline managers are the individuals who manage the work of non-managerial employees. They have the responsibility for the direct services or manufacturing of products. They are handling core business of the organization. Their performance becomes crucial for bottom line and for sustainability. Organizational charts. Many interesting analyses have been made of organizational charts. It represents in a figure the structure and the reporting relationships. Reality is often more complex, and while doing research on organization or working within the organization, one needs to understand both the formal and the informal organizational chart of the organization. For the next 5 minutes, draw a simple organizational chart and reflect on its implications for communication. Influences. What are the influences on organizational structure? How are they determined? What influences organizational structures? What is the level of formality? What is the degree of centralization or decentralization? What is the degree of centralization or decentralization of decision making? What is the nature of job design? What does the height or the levels within organizational structures reveal? What is the orientation of the organization? Is it a service or a product oriented organization? And it would have an impact on the organizational structure. So based on the above, we can have an entrepreneurial process or a process product based organizational structure. Newer structured changes within the work organizational changes in the last decades or so have led to the rise of networked organizations, public-private partnerships, virtual organizations, global organizations. There are more challenges thrown up for communication, for control, for monitoring, for evaluating performance. Managers and leaders need new skills, new experience and knowledge for managing these newer structures in the form of network organizations, BPPs, etc.